So here we are. Good evening once again, everybody. It's 3 minutes past 9 now. Huge shout out to those people who are here live. Massive shout out to those people who are watching on YouTube or watching the replay or are listening on iTunes or Spotify or Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts from. You can subscribe. Please subscribe to the Acts on This TV audio experience on Spotify, on iTunes, on Stitcher. You will get delivered free of charge every single week the audio from these Monday Night Live broadcasts that I do on Facebook, on Twitter and LinkedIn. And you can just listen to the audio. The audio is just as good as the visuals a lot of the time. I don't share a lot of stuff that requires you to actually see the screen. It's nice, those people who are here live, to actually, it's nice to look into the camera and communicate with you guys. But if you want to just listen to the audio, whilst you're in the gym or you're walking the dog or whatever, just search for Act on This TV, all one word, on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud. You'll find it. It's called the Act on This TV audio experience. Subscribe and you'll get the audio every week free of charge. So how's everyone doing? Mark's in the house, Maggie's here live, Georgie's here, Esther's here, Rachel's here, Alicia's here, Linda's here, Steve's here, Leah, Bill, Ian, everybody. There's loads of people here. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys. It means the absolute world. I want to start off by... I want to talk about something that I'm seeing happening. Do you know what? Because I've experienced two sides of something in the last few days that are complete polar opposites. And I'm seeing one group of people just winning and smashing it. Like, just really, really inspired, motivated, going out there and supporting each other so much. And then I'm seeing some other people, not necessarily actors, who are tearing each other down. And just like how little success they are having and how unhappy they must be in their little lives because they are getting their significance and making themselves feel better about their own lack of progress or some, bad hand that life has dealt them by actually tearing other people down. So I'll try and explain this articulately and I'll show you some examples of some stuff that I'm seeing happening. First of all, the good example. So this Saturday, you guys will have heard me talk about this on previous Acts on This Live Monday night, broadcasts. I, for the last month, have been planning a really in-depth training for actors who are looking specifically to get their first TV role or have like a reset on their acting career. Maybe they, have had the last 5 years out. They were getting acting roles on TV. They've maybe started a family or they've moved away from the industry for a little while for whatever reason, and they've come back into it and they want a reset. So it's like, right, how do we get you going and get this next TV credit or this first TV credit for you in as fast a time as possible? And I've been planning that for like in depth for the last month. I ran it on Saturday for 115 people. It's one of the best things I've ever done on actsonthis.tv. The group, I cannot tell you, and I know a lot of you guys are watching now, I cannot tell you like how amazing it is to work with a group of actors who are so up for investing in themselves, their careers. They're so motivated, they're inspired, but more than anything, they're up for like investing in each other. And we've got like a little private Facebook group along with this training just for these guys. And I've been really busy since Saturday editing the recordings of this like 8-hour, 9-hour training. So I've not been very like active in that group. And yet the members in that group have been ridiculously active. There must be hundreds of posts in that group already. And the support for each other, building each other up, is like so inspiring to see. It's not normal. Like, I don't see this in the acting industry very much. And I know we have like a zero tolerance in the Acts on This.tv community for all members of Acts on This.tv of like zero negativity, zero whining, zero whinging. It's all about pushing forward, turning adversity into advantage, making the best of what we have, taking action right now. But particularly in this group that we've got, it's on another level right now. And it's amazing to see these people building each other up. And then on the flip side, okay, what I want to talk about tonight to begin with is I'm also seeing parts of our industry and also just the population, just humanity, like tearing each other down to make themselves feel better. And I don't know about you, but let me know if you agree with this. There is a real, and this is worrying that I'm seeing now, there's a real cancel culture that we're developing in society where certain groups of people are waiting for people to trip up, say the wrong thing, tweet the wrong thing, say something that might be ever so slightly offensive to one tiny group of people, and they don't mean anything like wrong by it whatsoever. And they're like, right, that's it. Now we want to cancel you. We want to kick you off the TV. You don't deserve your show. Like, it's awful. It's awful the way this is happening. And two friends of mine this week, who are both massive advocates for the disabled community in various ways, have been attacked by the very people in that, in the disabled community for trying to do good. The first one, you'll know, great friend of mine and a really big advocate, for Acts on This.tv, Rachel Shenson, Oscar winner, an incredible actress. She has spent so much of her life advocating for the deaf community because her dad was deaf. He ended up with throat cancer later in his life. He had chemotherapy and it cost him his hearing. And Rachel, has obviously had first-hand, experience of that, and has been an advocate for the deaf community ever since. Has obviously got a big profile because she's a famous actress and has done so much good. This girl has climbed Mount Kilimanjaro for the National Deaf Children's Society. She's put on loads of fundraisers. The whole film that won the Oscar, The Silent Child, put a little deaf girl, Maisie Sly, who's amazing, up front and centre, has made her famous, has, thrust her into the spotlight. She's done so much for the deaf community. She's a huge supporter of a local group in Staffordshire called Deaf Links that has at various times has looked like it's been going under and has had no funding, and she's stepped up and either given money or lots of stuff you won't know about because it's not publicised in the news, but I know how much support this girl has given to the deaf community. And she was asked on the One Show, she's starring in All Creatures Great and Small right now, and she was asked on the One Show just a question about the deaf. And okay, Rachel is a hearing person, but has done so much for the deaf community. And she didn't go on the show to talk about that. She went on the show to talk about the Channel 5 show, which is brilliant, by the way. All Creatures Great and Small. If you've not seen the remake, go watch it. Catch up on it. It's absolutely superb. I was at the read-through for the first few episodes. It's just brilliant. It's so good. And she answered this question really articulately on face masks. We're all wearing masks when we go out at the moment, and Rachel's got some face masks that have clear fronts in them so that people who are deaf can still read lips. Not super effectively, I guess, because there's still a piece of clear film over your mouth and stuff like that. But, she was just talking about that. And then, my God, you should have seen the shit she got on Twitter from other people in the deaf community calling her out for going, you shouldn't be speaking on behalf of the deaf community. You're a person of hearing. This is bang out of order. The BBC, they're a disgrace. They should have got someone else on talking about this. Rachel went on to talk about All Creatures Great and Small. That was it. She just got asked a side question on something she's very passionate about. And then the very people she's trying to support end up tearing her down. Not all of them. I'm sure there's 11 million deaf people or thereabouts people of hard of hearing in the UK. Maybe 25 in that community decided they were going to try and tear Rachel and the BBC down because they're just obviously not very happy, about their lives. And I've just seen it again today in the world that I live in with my disability, which is, I'm visually impaired. My mum's blind. My brother's legally blind. I'm going blind. It's a big deal. And I don't care who stands up for people who are blind or visually impaired, in terms of I don't care who it is talking about it. If you are going to make a difference, or you are just going to stand up for any minority group in society, whether they're disabled or not, an ethnic minority, a gender minority, whatever it is right now, if you're going to stand up and just support in a positive way any group who needs that support, I don't feel you should have to belong to that group and have that thing to make a difference. I'll show you now. I'll show you this tweet. Ruth Madeley, another BAFTA-nominated actress, big friend of Acts on This.tv, hang on. Sorry, guys. I forgot. I've got to share my web browser. Here we go. Sorry about that. It will have just gone a black screen for you. You should be able to see this now. Ruth Madeley, what an amazing person she is. Just put a tweet out this morning. It's just as a bit of a joke, right? She's got a T-shirt on there called Now, with a fake Now, music album cover on a T-shirt going, that's what I call ableism, right? Just a bit of a joke. There's a lot of ableism in the world. Ruth's got spina bifida. When she has to use a wheelchair, there is quite a bit of ableism in the world that makes things hard for people with disability. Ruth takes it all very positively, and just sort of has a lot of humor with it, and doesn't take things too seriously. Right? She put this tweet out this morning. Now, very recently, and it is only recent, Twitter have started to allow people to use what are called alt tags. Now, an alt tag is where you upload a picture to the internet, and for people who are blind or visually impaired, you can write a description on that tag, to say so it might say, here's Ruth wearing a top saying, now that's what I call ableism. But it's so new, no one knows about it. Okay, and also, not every single person in the world is perfect. We don't all know about each other's disabilities. We just try our best, right? And it doesn't even have to be about disability. It can be about anything in the world, right? If you're just trying to stand up or be a positive influence for anyone anywhere, that's a good thing. The amount of shit that Ruth got for this because she didn't put an alt tag on this picture, and I mean, I had to reply, here's one. I just, and don't go and I'm not highlighting this woman, and don't, I don't want anyone to go and kick off on her. But I mean, look at that. There is no image description on this tweet, so I have no idea what the photo is. In that case, I don't honestly think you're in a position to be banging on about ableism. I had to reply to that because I thought, I'm not standing up for this. I mean, I'm standing up for this. I'm not standing for this. I'm standing up to this. Because I'm like, look, as a visually impaired person, I celebrate other disabled people doing their best. None of us get it right 100% of the time. Your reply is borderline bullying. Be better. Because I'm like, Ruth's standing up for the disabled community as a whole, and yet disabled people will tear her down in the same way Rachel got torn down for just answering a question on the One Show earlier this week. So I just, I've just seen both sides of the coin this week. One group of people we've got in the Acts on This community doing amazing things, supporting each other. And then one group of people basically making no progress whatsoever, destroying each other, to the point where Ruth felt so bad, she had to put an apology out, saying, I'm so sorry for people I've offended. It's like, don't apologize. It's almost like then you're admitting you've done something wrong. Ruth, you've done nothing wrong whatsoever. Rachel had to get a publicist to, change other interviews she was having this week to say, listen, don't talk about anything to do with the deaf because it just causes loads of problems. And that's just really unfair for the people who actually, like Rachel, was making a difference to. One of Rachel's friends, a guy who was born to two deaf parents, whose first language was sign language. His parents were deaf. They couldn't talk to him in English. They had to talk to him in sign language. That was his first language he ever learned. He is hearing, though. He can hear. But he's grown up, with his first language being sign language, and he has signed stories to children for years, to deaf children, who love his stories. The community, or the people in the community who have been bullying him, who are saying, you shouldn't be doing this because you're not deaf, have now made him, he issued he cancelled himself. I was so frustrated, and it was so sad to see. It made my heart bleed. He cancelled himself this week going, I'm so sorry for everyone I've offended. I shouldn't be doing this. Yes, you should. Your parents are both deaf. You're in the deaf world. You've got more right to do it than anybody. And these people are now taking entertainment and something off these children who are deaf, who will already feel less included in society. You've actually just shot yourselves in the foot. You're hurting your own people. So, if you see this, it takes a little bit of bravery, because you too might feel like, you know what, I can't stand up and say anything because what if I get cancelled? Or what if people think, that I'm bad and I get sacked or whatever? It's not going to, I don't think it's going to happen, but it just requires people to be a little bit braver now. If you see this in society, whether it's disability or not, it might not be, just anything where people are going after people who are just doing their best in our industry or not, I'm just putting a call out to say, please stand up for these people. Because until we're a little bit louder, and I'm going to start replying, like I did to that woman there, to every single person I see bullying another online, when all they're trying to do is good, we all need to kind of stand up for this, because it's just going to move society backwards. Completely. The difference I see in this Facebook group, where all these actors, and you guys here, are all always so supportive of each other. And it makes such a difference, not just to your careers, but your lives, because you're more positive people and you're more inspired and motivated, and you're going out and you just try to do good. It makes such a difference when you see that on one spectrum, and then I see, these two actresses who are just brilliant, lovely, kind people getting bullied online for trying to do something good. It's just it's ridiculous. So, hopefully you agree with me. But I'm like, it just takes people. A lot of people are so afraid to speak up about it because they too don't want to be cancelled. But I'm like, I have to speak up about this because I'm not in a show, so I could cancel my own Monday Night Live broadcast, I suppose, but I'm not going to do that. But like, we do have to just be brave and go, no. You are wrong. You can't do that. Adele got absolutely like battered by certain people for cultural appropriation because she dressed up in, I think she did her hair in a certain style, Notting Hill style, and people said it was racist. She did her hair like this. Like, I'm sure every race in the world has wigs where the hair might not be the kind of hair that they're naturally born with or whatever. Like, it's just hair. Come on. In the grand scheme of things, when we're up against so much right now, can we just solidify like ourselves as going, you know what, we just put more love out, as opposed to going, what can I look at on Twitter today and how can I bully someone and tear them down because I'm in a shit place in my head? Hurt people, like I said. So that, there's a time where you've got to give these people love, but there's also a time where you do have to say, no, I'm sorry, your actions do carry consequences. You can't go around bullying people who have done nothing wrong. It's just not right. So that's my little rant for the start of this broadcast. But if you see it anywhere, I'm just saying, please stand up or draw my attention to it, because I'll go and call these people out very politely, like I did with this woman here. I'm not gonna, I'm certainly not attacking people. I just want people to actually just have a little think about what they're doing. Because I guarantee you that woman would not have spoken to Ruth, or all those people would not have spoken to Rachel in real life, face to face, like they did online when they're at home in their chair, tweeting, thinking they're all untouchable. You wouldn't act like that in real life. So social media isn't to blame. This is something as well. People go, no, it's social media that's doing this to people. No, it's not. Social media doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is people. So all social media for a start isn't even a thing. Social media is just the description we use for the state of the internet today. That's all it is, It's just, social media is just the state of the internet today. That's how we use it. But it doesn't change anybody. It doesn't make anybody any different. It just amplifies what you already are. So all those people are already trolls in real life, but it's just amplified on Twitter. When you're a nice person in real life, have a look at some nice people's accounts. It just amplifies what they are. They're lovely on social media as well. So we can't blame or scapegoat social media as a cause for this. These are just idiots at home, hiding behind a keyboard, thinking they can talk to people and bully people for doing good because they're unhappy with their lives right now. So yeah, hopefully we can make positivity louder and call out some of this nonsense that I'm seeing. Just seeing a tweet, says Ricky, bullies are always eerily quiet about their losses. It's mental, isn't it? They just seem to be everywhere. But I just saw that. I thought it was relevant because there were two actresses that I saw attacked this week, and I thought it's relevant to our community, but it's not just people with profile. I'm sure that this is happening to. I'm sure it's happening to people from all walks of life. Chris says, I'm weighing in on this. What right does anyone else have to bring someone else down? I've seen it a lot recently, and it's absolute bullshit. It's true, isn't it? Leah says people just seem to be angry at the moment. They do. There's a lot of that, a lot of frustration in the world. Mark says people are terrified of losing jobs. They are, mate, so people won't speak up. So it leaves the minority who are complaining and bullying. They make the most noise. So the majority of us who are lovely, kind people, we feel, oh no, we can't speak up because what if we get cancelled? What if we get sacked? No, can't happen. You've got to stand up and speak out when you just see people being dicks. There you go. That's a little soundbite for you, isn't it? So we could take that out and just, I'll probably get cancelled to go, look at Ross, he's being very aggressive tonight, isn't he? No, I just don't like negative people. I'm always more than happy to call people out regardless, says Helen. It is, and it's not, these people are calling people out for doing good. That's the hilarious thing. They're like, I'm going to call you out on this. What right have you got to speak on behalf of the deaf people when you've got hearing? Like, every right, because I'm a human being sharing this tiny, minuscule amount of time on this rock that's spinning around in midair, at the same time as you. We breathe the same air. Like, in the grand scheme of things, we're here for a tiny blip of time. And I've got every right to stand up and try and, actually, be a positive voice for any community I want to be. As long as I'm not tearing people down and being negative like you. As I say, I don't care who stands up for the blind community. The more voices I can have for the visually impaired and the blind on a selfish level, just for me and my family, the better. Because the more accessibility there is, my mum's life changed so much when Apple started putting voice-activated stuff in their equipment. So my mum can now, I used to have to always write my mum's shopping list for her, or do all the technology and stuff for her. She couldn't play CDs or audio books and all this sort of stuff. Well, maybe CDs, because I guess there's like tangible buttons on the CD player. But, you know, my mum could never have dreamt of using an iPod, you know, that's got like a glass screen on it. It's no tactile buttons on it. Then when Apple put like Siri into stuff, I won't say that because my phone will go off. I shouldn't have said that name. It changed her life. Like, genuinely, it only seems like a tiny thing for most people who can see. But, you know, the fact that my mum can say, hey, and I won't say the name, or the other one by Amazon, you know, her name. I won't say that because she'll go off in here as well. But, you know, and get these devices to write things down from, my mum can send me a text message. I know that sounded like such a small thing, but when I was at school, it's just, honestly, it sounds so stupid. But like my friends would get texts off their mum. I thought, I'm never going to get that. Mum can't use a phone. And then when she can say, hey, send Ross a text message, and now Siri will go, okay, Anne, what would you like it to say? And then, you know, she can just speak to it and send it. It's changed her life. She can order audiobooks and shopping and things on her own. I'm sure it wasn't a blind person who created that technology or maybe stood up for that or suggested it. You know, I'm sure it was a sighted person who put all that together. I'm not going to go, oh, sorry, mate, can you just take Siri out of your iPhone because you've not got any right to do that. That should be a blind person who does this. People are just idiots. So yeah. Let's just be positive people and just stand up for the good in the world, and let's not tear anybody down for just trying to do good, even if they make a mistake. You know, like, none of us are perfect. Oh, I also went on the two people who trolled Ruth. I went on their timelines. They've never used an alt tag on any of their images in their life. Hypocrites, hypocritical bullies. That's all you are. So there we go. Right, anyway, let's get into a little bit more positive news and things that's going on at actonthis.tv. For those who were on the program on Saturday, by the way, the 9-hour training, you will find a few modules already re-uploaded to the members area over on actonthis.tv. If you've got access to that training, I think the first 2 modules, about the first 3 hours of training, are up. I will edit the rest by this Friday. Very excited for that. And then those people who didn't jump on the training, who might want to jump on it in the future, I will be releasing this as a full-blown course later on this year that you will be able to purchase and get access to as well. But I know it's gonna change the careers of so many. It already is, of so many people who take this training. So very excited about that. I'll let you know if there's a waiting list or anything else going on. So let's have a little recap. Last week, we had Ray Hendry, who is Julie Harkin's casting associate. Julie Harkin is one of the biggest TV casting directors in the country. Casts absolutely massive shows on TV, comedy and drama. And we had Ray in town for our member-only mastermind call when was it? Last Tuesday evening. Here's a little mashup of a little bit of what you missed, and we'll have a little recap on it for those who maybe aren't members of actonthis.tv yet. Or for those who are members, you can go and watch the full replay, the full 2-hour chat in the members area after this. But here's a little mashup of what happened. We've got an amazing guest for you this evening, currently residing as casting associate to top TV casting director Julie Harkin. In the house, it's Ray Hendry. Ray, good evening. How's it kind of working in your office? Can you let us know who's there and what everybody's role is? Yeah, sure. So we have currently 2 other permanent staff. So we have Nathan Toth, who is also an associate, so he's at my level. And then we have another assistant who works between Nathan and I. She largely works with Nathan, and she is called Yvonne. Have you had any emails recently that actors have sent you through where you've gone, right, this person's got it right, and because they've got it right, you know, I'm going to click this link. You're more inclined to basically have a little look at their stuff. Anything that are the absolute do's and the absolute 100% do nots.
If you were casting a comedy, do you think it's ideal for an actor to have a comedy scene in his show reel? We have an imagination. We're not always looking for people that can be like boom, you know, like it is amazing. Like, good actors might not have comedy bones, but sometimes they can really work the comedy via technique.
If you were to go back to the beginning as an unknown actress, what would you do?
I would take a whole lot more acting lessons. But I would work more at it. I really think in this country, we do our training and then we're like, I am done, I am ready.
Say you're not on Spotlight. Would you still cast an actor?
If an actor is with an agent, but then on your list, I was just wondering, how does that actor know what projects you're working on that he or she feels they might be right for?
The people on the panel want you to be good. We really want you to be good. No one is against you. Don't come into the room thinking, oh God, don't worry about it. We all want you to be good.
Boom! If you want to watch the full 2-hour replay of that chat with Ray Hendry, who is Julie Harkin's casting associate, get yourself over to actsonthis.tv. Here's the website on your screen right now. Those people who don't have a membership to actsonthis.tv, click into the preview features here and you will be able to watch a little trailer of that here, if it decides it's going to load, if my internet decides it's going to actually load that post. There you go, finally. And if you are a member of actsonthis.tv, if you're not, you just get yourself a membership. It's £6 a week. It'll change your career. You will find it in your members area. If you click into the members area, click into your premium membership, and you'll find it already. Boom, right at the top there. Relationships are your most valuable resource, we've called it, with casting associate Ray Hendry, Julie Harkin Casting. If you click into that, you will find the full chat as video and as an audio podcast, however you like to listen to it or watch it. If you want to sit there with your feet up, I know people who's beaming these onto their TV now. I know a lot of people have smart TVs. I keep getting tweets from people and they're showing me, like, you know, they're putting it on the big screen, which is amazing. I'm yet to do that. Do you know what? I've got a TV on the wall in here. 55-inch TV I bought when I moved into this apartment. I've watched it 3 times. I watch everything on my computer or my laptop in bed. I never even turn the TV on. It's crazy. But yeah, let me know if you have been watching anything from actsonthis.tv on your big screen. And like I say, if you're not a member, you'll see this little address here at the bottom of the screen, actsonthis.tv/live. You can go and watch our live schedule of calls that are coming up every month. Every month even. You get 4 of these live calls. Not like tonight. You get a live call with a top casting director or an agent or an actor, a writer, a producer. We get 1 every week. This week we've got a great agent coming on Thursday. I will talk about that towards the end of this broadcast. But yeah, actsonthis.tv/live. Check out the full schedule and you get your membership there as well. Like I say, £6 a week. God, I mean, most people are charging you £35 for a 2-hour workshop. I'll give you one for... Well, you get 7 a month, actually, because you get 2 live calls with me as well for Q&A and a social networking event on Zoom on the first Saturday of every month. You get 7 calls for £24. I don't know what that is. Someone worked that out for me, but it's less than 6. What is it, like £4? No, what would that be? Yeah, less than that. £3.50? £3.50 a session, something like that. It's an absolute no-brainer. So yeah, get yourself over if you want to watch the full thing with Ray. I've pulled out 2 other clips from that just to look at in a little bit more depth because I thought they were interesting. The first one, because Ray was an actress before she was a casting associate and before she went into casting. The story of how she got into casting, very, very interesting. I won't spoil it for you. It's on the main thing, but it shows you, again, how important your relationships are in this industry and the people you know. Like, it really is, like, and it's not just, you know, people say it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's not just who you know, it's who knows you. And I say this all the time, but it's like the quality of the relationships. You might think you know a casting director or you know a director or a fellow actor or whatever. If you walk down the street, would they stop and go, oh, how are you doing, Rachel or Sharon or Alicia? Or would they walk past you? Because there's a difference between you thinking you know someone and them knowing you. So it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And it's about nurturing those relationships so that people, you know, would stop if they walk past you. And the story of how Ray got into casting, really, really interesting. So that's in the full. I won't spoil that because that's in the full chat. But one of the things we asked was, Ray, if you went back, well, it wasn't me, it was an actor on Acts on This, it was a member, said if you went back to your starting out in your career, you know, now you're a casting director, what would you have done differently? Now you kind of know what is required to have success as an actor. And again, this ties in to what you guys are doing here. You're training right now. Those people who joined me for the 9-hour training on Saturday, you're investing in yourself, you're training, you're getting better, both in terms of the business, and then I'm sure you guys are training, you know, in real life in terms of the actual craft of acting. Here's Ray's answer, but I think it's really interesting. Just ask yourself, how much of this are you doing? How much are you investing in yourself? Are you afraid to do that? You know, are you blagging yourself that you don't need to? You know, are you making excuses because, you know, it's scary? Here's Ray's answer anyway.
If you were to go back to the beginning as like an unknown actress, what would you do?
I would take a whole lot more acting lessons. And no, but I would work more at it. I really think in this country, we do our training and then we're like, I am done, I am ready. Yeah. And it's about continuing your craft. And I think that I got to a point where I didn't feel that my work was very creative. And I was really struggling to tap into creativity. And I think that if I went back and did it now and had the balls to do it, my God, I don't know how you all do it, honestly. It would be about finding a creative way to continue finding interest in acting. And I think some people do it really naturally, and I really didn't. I found that very difficult. And I was kind of one of those people that would be like, you know, like getting a scene was almost like doing your homework. You're kind of like, right, learn it. What's the stage directions? Off we toddle, you know, and I think that the way that you should approach a scene is so differently from that. You know, you can fling the rule book out and do it however you want to do it. Within reason, obviously, you know, when you're trying to get a job. But that's what I would do. And that's a fantastic question.
So there you go. Your training is never done. There's an old saying in personal development that says, listen, if you're not growing, you're dying. And I believe that's true in all areas of our lives. If you're not getting better at something, I don't think you can ever stay the same. You know, if I'm not in the gym Monday to Friday, I don't just stay in shape. I know from lockdown that I quickly get out of shape. So it's not like, you know, if you're not doing anything, you're staying stagnant and staying the same. You're not. In 99% of cases, you're getting worse. So if there is anything in your life you either want to keep up with or get better at, you've got to keep investing in it. You've got to keep striving. You know, categories of constant improvement within your life, and the acting has got to be one of them if you want to be successful as an actor. I'm constantly, you know, working on myself, you know, my own business, you know, doing, I've said before, you know, quite a few mentors in my life in various areas, physicality, business, acting, you know, all kind of emotional mastery, really, all kinds of stuff as well. And I don't think you're never like 100% on anything, are you? You've always got room to grow. And I think sometimes, you know what I've realized recently is that even when you feel you're on top of your game, sometimes when you really kind of, you know, dive deep and you really get honest with yourself, there's always another level to go to, but you might just be banging your head on a glass ceiling that you've put there. And I've done that recently where I've really had to like smash my head against it to break it, and it was so uncomfortable to do it. It was even doing that training on Saturday and go, God, how do I put a 9-hour training together? You know, how do I try and put 15 years of knowledge into like one day? It was really daunting, and I'm like, oh my God, are people going to think it's good? Are they going to get a follow? Am I going to confuse people? That was a really, really daunting task. And had I not had Ollie, the marketing manager for Acts on this, pushing me to do it, and we butted heads on a few times, I've said that before, and you know, there was definitely a time where I'm sure he was ready to stop working with me. I wouldn't have done it because I'd put that glass ceiling there myself, and I was almost just as afraid of the success as I was of the failure. So I think if we get honest with ourselves, sometimes that is scary as well. Who's ever this happened to me like 3 times where I've been on the cusp of really changing my acting career in terms of, if I land this, there's a high likelihood my life's going to change. And it's so exciting, and it hasn't actually, I've always come second place, unfortunately. But there is also that slight sort of thing of the unknown where you're like, oh my God, right, this is a bit uncomfortable because I know what it's like to not have this. It's almost safer and feels a bit more comfortable just not having it. And there's always a party that's going, oh my God, I'm actually afraid of what will happen if I get this. There's that excitement there, but there's also a lot of trepidation and like, right, oh God, am I ready for this? And I think, you know, if we're not careful, we can put that glass ceiling there ourselves. Life doesn't put it there. The industry doesn't put it there. We put it there, and we get in our own way. So training. That's the message from Ray Hendry, and I agree with it. Let me know if you are training at the moment in various ways. I'm so stoked that Peter Hunt showed up for you guys. Yeah, so I planned a little special guest on Saturday. I thought I'm going to do the 9 hours training, and then we're going to need a bit of light entertainment and another face for people to look at as opposed to just me. So I brought, head of Hollyoaks casting Peter Hunt on, ultimately just to have a Q&A with the people on that training, and just to really make people aware that everything we covered that day, was real, was backed up by people at the top of the industry. They agree it's the right thing to do, because a lot of actors are still afraid to reach out to casting directors, even though I played so many video clips out in that training where the biggest names in the industry are saying it is your job. Like Sophie Holland, the casting director for The Witcher, it is your job as an actor to reach out to me, and it is my job as a casting director to read your email, and she said if people are not happy to do that, then they're in the wrong job. But I thought I'll bring Peter on just again as a touch point to humanize the industry and just make you guys not scared or as scared, of reaching out to people. So Peter's a total legend. And Caroline says, definitely success can be just as scary as it is exciting. It is, isn't it? It really is. Like sometimes it really is, and I get that in areas sometimes where I'm like, God, every time I start earning more money, or I remember when I first got into voiceover, and I got my first job that was a few £1,000s for like an hour's work. And I remember this happens as well. I remember feeling guilty because my dad never earned any, he worked so much harder in terms of like the guy got up at R5 every morning, got in at 7 o'clock at night, didn't really have a life, worked himself to death, bless him, more or less. And I was like, God, he was earning like nothing. And I'm getting paid like £5,000 to just stand there and talk for an hour. And it made me feel really uncomfortable to go, God, do I deserve this? Like they're going to find out that I don't deserve this, or I'm not good enough for this. And then, and then it happens again and again, you kind of get used to it. But it's still something I never take for granted. It's some of the fees and things you will get in the acting industry and in the voiceover industry are pretty crazy. But you've got to realize you are worthy. Why not? Why don't you deserve that? The value you bring and the job that you do, obviously it's got to be good. But you do, the only thing that gets in the way sometimes is ourselves and our mindset. But I definitely had that when I first started. Back, this was back 15 years ago as well, when that was even more money than it is today. It didn't feel like, sometimes you feel like, oh, but we've never had money as a family, or I don't, I'm sure we've all been brought up with the phrases that our parents said, like, money doesn't grow on trees, and we just don't have that kind of money. And I had friends who were much richer than me, whose families, mums and dads were like scientists and lawyers and stuff, and they were always the ones who went on holiday to the posh places, or went on cruises, or went to America. And my mum and dad would, it was amazing. We had such an amazing time, but we go to Cornwall or the Lake District or something like that. So you can grow up almost with a limiting belief around what you deserve and what you should have, if you're not careful as well. And the only way you push through that is by breaking through those glass ceilings and going, no, I am enough. I do deserve this. Of course I do. The value I bring, is more than adequate for what I'm getting paid for. So that's another hurdle for a lot of actors to kind of get over. But training in every area of your life and getting better at stuff is really going to help you with that as well, because you're going to have more and more belief in your abilities. The more you train. What else is going down in the comments before I play the next clip? Alicia says, got my first screen credit pay today. Bloody buzzing. Nice. Gonna buy some new curtains and upgrade the self-tape gear in no particular order. Amazing. No, it's good, isn't it? And you've got to go, and get used to it and just go, you know what? Because imagine if it's for an advert. I think you did an advert, didn't you, for your first gig? That's going to be some decent money. Adverts aren't, you know what? Adverts back in the day were bloody amazing money. It's kind of come down a little bit, but they're still decent money now, if you get the right one. So no, good on you, Alicia. Get those curtains, girl, without a doubt. Mark says, you absolutely deserve it. The guilt I understand compared to those in other countries who earn a pittance for hard labour. Yeah, sometimes there's that as well. But you know what? Then there's also one thing that I love, and this isn't like, oh, look at me, I'm a martyr. One thing I really love about, having financial freedom or getting paid decent money in this industry is the good you can do with that, and don't do that good so you can film yourself doing it and put it out on Twitter. But it's lovely to be able to do certain things for certain people, individuals, or charities and things like that, because you can, very quietly, with no ads on this. You guys, and I want you to know, like I say, a lot of the revenue that you guys pay for your membership, quietly goes to incredible causes. Every guest who comes on actsonthis.tv, there's no fee. The casting directors don't get paid, okay? Because I know there's been certain actors as well, again, bullies, negative mindset. When sometimes I've put a video out saying, hey, we've got this coming up. I've had actors attack me saying, it's disgusting during a pandemic, you're charging actors to get access to these people. I'm like, I'm not making anyone do anything. And I'm asking for £6 a week, mate. You know, if I was asking for 60 quid, I'd understand. Asking you for £6, and I'm not making you do it. You don't have to do it. You get to get involved if you want to get involved. But I don't want anybody, you know, bullying the people getting involved in terms of the guests on Acts on This, because they don't get anything. All of their fee goes to charity, and they wouldn't have it any other way. Even when I offer to pay them, they're like, no, don't want any money. Please give it to charity. If the guest has been on a few times, I'll say, listen, let me this time pay you. And like every time I've said that, you know, if the guest has been on more than once, like, no, I want it to go to this charity again. But that I can only do that because of you. That's not me being generous. That's you lot paying your subs for Acts on This. You're making the difference. So I want you to know that even if you're like, oh, I don't give money to charity, you do via Acts on This. So cheers for that. Good on you. We do. We gave to a food bank today, actually in Leytonstone, who are building their like a facility for people. So you've put some money towards that, you know, which is good. The next thing I want to play from Ray is she answered a question that loads of people ask, but like isn't really. I've never seen anyone like answer it online. And you'll hear a lot of agents and casting directors talk about this, and that's something referred to as taste. I hear a lot of casting directors going, oh, I really like that agent's taste in actors. Or equally, an agent will say, oh, but, you know, I know that casting director's taste in actors, or this actor is definitely aligned with this person's taste. And I'm like, what is your taste? Like, I don't get it. I mean, like, my taste in actors is just someone who's good. What's your taste in actors, Ross? Just a good actor, basically. But every casting director, obviously, just, you know, likes slightly different things from actors. So if you ever audition for Julie Harkin, if you have the pleasure to do that, the privilege of doing that, and you audition for Ray as well, here's Ray's taste. And I think she mentions a little bit about, you know, The Office in general, their taste in actors. But here's what it means anyway. It might just shed a little bit more light on the subject for you. What is taste to you? And what, in terms of, does Julie's Office have a particular taste in actors? If you could maybe, I don't know, even describe what that is.
For The Office, you know, it's interesting and... Let's say reliable people. Is that the right word? Consistent?
Consistent, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you sort of see people and you're like, God, you're good. You're good again. And quite often, that might not mean you get the job. But it will mean that, you know, you have made an impression. And people are always remembering. They're always thinking and going, oh, do you know what? You're not quite right there, but you're in here now and I'm going to get you back in. Like, I definitely have people like that. I like people who are creative, but I like people who are succinct in their acting. You know, they've managed to boil it down a bit, and they don't have all the kind of, you have to do a lot to work away from all the tics and all the kind of manners that we have, but they think about the scene, they internalize it, and they just deliver it in quite a pure fashion. And I think that's what I like, you know, when I'm seeing scenes, that's what I enjoy. Yeah, people that aren't too mannered, that really understand. All I need to see is that you understand the scene and you can convey the emotion, in a, what is the way?
It's just more like a pure, simple.
Yeah, and in a believable human way, because, you know, all we are is we're humans watching other humans, and yet we make it so complicated.
Yeah.
We're literally doing it at the moment, but the second somebody hands you text, you're like, oh. It can just take that text, internalize it, and just present it, and you go, yeah.
Boom. Says a little bit on taste. Do you know what? Ray describes taste in Julie's office very much in the same way that Johnny Boutwood described taste in Shaheen Baig's office. They obviously cast massive stuff like Peaky Blinders. But he said the biggest note that he gives, the most frequent note he gives to actors when they come into audition is throw it away more. You're doing too much. And I think that's what Ray's going on about there in terms of internalizing it. Nothing's too mannered. It's just kind of like, believable. Ultimately, I mean, it's dead easy to say, isn't it? But like, that's acting. Can you say these words in a believable way as a human being? Ultimately, it's as simple as that, guys. Acting's dead easy. Forget acting classes. That's all you need to know. So yeah, there's a little bit on taste. Like I say, if you want to watch the full interview with Ray, well, it was a webinar where we got members of actsonthis.tv online talking to Ray one-to-one as well. We have like a 30-minute discussion on Julie's office and the members of the team there, how you get hold of them, what they like when you write to them, how to reach out to them, what to put, what to send, show reels, headshots, all kinds of stuff, and what they like and what they don't like. Get yourself over to actsonthis.tv. Get your membership if you've not got one. Like Brendan says, it's basically going to cost you 2 coffees a week. I'm sure you've all had a Starbucks this week or a Costa. I know I have, and my drink in particular, because I get a large one, is basically pretty much the same price as what a membership to actsonthis.tv would cost me for just one, not 2, Brendan. Just one, because I have coconut milk and I have a large one. It's bloody expensive. But yeah, that's over on the website right now, along with another 400 hours worth of content with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers. I get emails every day from actors telling me how it's changed the game for them. Caroline, don't know if you're here, signed with Regan today off the back of a podcast she heard on actsonthis.tv not long ago. Loads of people have signed with agents over lockdown because of, the webinars we've been doing with actsonthis.tv. Some people have had general auditions. I know a lot of people have been in touch with casting directors today off the back of the training we did on Saturday. They've already had responses from people like Peter Hunt at Hollyoaks. Ultimately, this is one of those investments you should make in yourself. Like, I can't tell you, and I should do more, but I sometimes, again, for me, I don't like maybe shouting about it as much, but I should publish with consent every email that I get from an actor who reaches out to me now and says, I've just done this because of this feature that I listened to or I watched on Acts on this, because I'm not bullshitting you guys. It's happening like every single day. Michelle, I know you're on here now and I won't tell your news, but that email you sent me means the world, and it's amazing to see you land that job. I can't wait for that to happen. Lindsay, I don't know if you're here, but again, I can't wait to see that job that you've got. And these are all like TV jobs, like at the top of the tree, guys. These are the biggest shows on telly, because these people are listening and watching this stuff on actsonthis.tv, but above all, they're acting on it, and that's why it's called Act on This. If you're not acting on it, it's pointless. You might as well go and have 2 coffees instead of a membership. But if you're prepared to put some earphones in your ear and watch or listen to something for just 90 minutes a week in order to change your life, I suggest you get involved with it, because it is literally as plain and simple as that. Which brings me on to what we're doing this week, this Thursday. Who needs an agent? Who's looking for an agent right now? Who needs one? Who's not happy with the one they've got? Who is, maybe looking to swap, or maybe just build more rapport with their agent, learn how to work more efficiently with their agent? Let me know in the chat if you are in that boat or if you're still looking. Because I think we've got something coming up on Thursday that can definitely help you. I'm going to bring on. Well, I brought on a lot of agents recently, but I'm going to bring on more agents as we go down the line between now and the end of the year. Like I say, you get one of these features every single week. So if it's not an agent, it's a casting director or a very famous actor. But this week we have got a great agent on Thursday night, founder and I would say CEO, but he doesn't like the word CEO, so we'll just say founder and agent Guy Howe, founder of WGM Atlantic, a great acting agency with dual-based Manchester, London, and also New York. And Guy, his model of agency is quite different, actually. It's the same model as the big agencies in London in terms of United, Independent, Troika, people like that, where there are... they deal with projects completely in-house, so they might have the scriptwriter in-house, the director, and the actors as well. So, they can sell scripts and then sell them on the basis... This is how it works. Sell them on the basis of deals going, okay, we'll sell this script. However, if you're going to have it, part of the deal is you attach this person and this person to it who we represent as well. This is just the business, guys. This is how it works. It's not that well publicized, but deals like this go down all the time. And Guy's agency represents a lot of writers as well now. So there are scripts that he's involved in selling. If you are an actor and you write, an agency like WGM would be a fantastic agency for you to be with, because, you know, the agency is very much sort of, you know, set up and geared up for selling scripts now as well. He's got an office in New York, and he's just doing really, really well. Reps a lot of great actors. I think Leah, if you're here, I think Leah's rep by Guy. If you are still watching, Leah, I think I saw your name before. I'm sure I did. But Guy's going to be here Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. for all members of actsonthis.tv. This is another closed-door mastermind. If you're not a member, you don't get in. If you are a member, you will get a Zoom link, and we will jump online at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, probably for a couple of hours. Normally we go 7:30 till 9. I know Guy is a super chilled guy. I'm sure he'll be happy to stay a little bit longer. So we can probably do 2 hours with Guy. We're going to go over everything to do with his agency, how he's grown it, what he's looking for right now, how you sign with him, you know, what space is available within the agency, if he's looking for a certain type of actor right now, or writer in particular. You can jump on camera, have a little one-to-one with Guy, get some coaching, you know, on the evening as well. But he's just a really, really sound bloke. Here is a little video I recorded with Guy earlier this week. Invite you to the party. Come and get involved. actsonthis.tv/live. Get your membership and come and get involved with this. Actors, listen up, particularly if you are currently looking for an agent. I am back once again with another invite for you guys to another actsonthis.tv live webinar. This time it's taking place on Thursday, the 10th of September, one day after my birthday, actually, so presents to the usual address. But this is happening on the 10th of September, 7:30 p.m. with this amazing guy here, agent and founder of WGM Atlantic, Mr. Guy Howe. Guy, welcome back, mate. It's amazing to have you here. What are we going to be talking about on Thursday?
Well, people who know me will know I'm rather unfiltered when it comes to the industry, so people are more than welcome to ask any questions. I mean, listen, I know there's been previous agents on. However, again, I'll be very honest, but also as an agency, we create things from the start in terms of selling scripts in addition to actors as well. So as part of the whole creation process, we've had big input in terms of selling scripts in addition to selling actors. So I'll give you an unfiltered truth that many people, I'm sure, will not say.
Nice, an unfiltered, honest truth. Okay,
absolutely.
Actors, if you want to get involved with this, you literally want to. Well, you can come and watch me and Guy. Obviously, have this unfiltered truth, this chat going on. But you can actually jump on camera live on the night as well. If you've got any questions on agenting, your acting career, reaching out to agents, the do's, the don'ts, getting representation, anything at all, basically, that you think is going to help you get further in your acting career faster, get yourself over to actonthis.tv/live for full details of how you can take part in this. And Guy, I ask everybody this question on these trailers. Little bit of pressure. Surprise question. Why don't actors want to miss your webinar in particular?
Well, technically, it's now your online birthday party, number one. Oh, yeah. So I think that's really important. But also I've checked the TV guide. There's nothing else on. We're in a pandemic. It makes absolute sense. I think they should get their money's worth from your wonderful, service that you offer. And also, again, anyone who we do speak to on the night can always have my details after. If I can help you going forward in the future, then even
absolutely,
if I'll be able to help. No worries.
Amazing. Come and celebrate my birthday, Thursday, September the 10th, 7:30 p.m. actonthis.tv/live. actonthis.tv/live if you want to get involved. And obviously, as you heard, it's now my online birthday party on Thursday night. I will be the big 3-8 on Wednesday. Don't forget the 9th of the 9th, presents to the usual address. You won't have the usual address. Just basically send me a Costa gift card to Ross at actonthis.tv, and don't spend any more than, I don't know, 500 to 1,000. That's absolutely fine. Anywhere between 500 and £1,000. Don't go overboard. But yeah, if you want to get involved with this, actonthis.tv/live, go get your membership, and come and get involved with this very, very honest chat on agenting with Guy. And like you said, he's going to be unfiltered. He just says it as it is. He's just an awesome chap. So, if you want to jump on, have a little one-to-one talk about your position right now in the industry, where you're at with your agent, or, maybe you don't have one. And like he said, everyone he speaks to, he's more than happy to give his details to, and you can follow up with him afterwards. He's just a very, very giving guy. I keep saying Guy, and his name's Guy. Guy is a great guy who just just likes to help, basically champions new talent, always looking for new talent. So I suggest you be there if you're looking for an agent. It's got to be worth a punt. Come and have a chat. If you're unsure and you're on the fence, should I join Acts on This? Should I not? What have you got to lose? You know, actsonthis.tv/live. Join for a month, but I promise you, once you've joined, you won't want to leave. We do this every single week. We've got Catherine Willis, one of the biggest casting directors in the game, on the week after. We don't muck about. Bring you literally the biggest names, guys. So that's Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Lots of people are saying they're going to be there. Mark says, welcome to the 3-8, mate. I'm looking forward to it, man. Honestly, I wonder how big the quiff's going to be by 38. It's looking a bit big at the moment, isn't it? I get my hair cut on Friday. The quiff is getting out of control for those people on the audio experience. You won't see it, but it's a good job. You won't want to see it. It's mental. Right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. It goes fast, doesn't it? This 9 till 10 slot just goes so quick. I hope you've enjoyed it tonight. And like I say, just at the start, I hope you don't think I'm whinging and moaning about it. I don't like seeing good people trolled online. So if you see anybody who's just doing good ultimately being bullied on Twitter by the very people they're trying to stand up for, please say something. Because people just need to realize, like, you know, I say a lot of the time, hurt people, and you've got to give these people more love. But there comes a point where I'm just like, how many chances do you want? There comes a point where you've got to just call something out and say, well, wait a minute, no, you're in the wrong here. You're doing the very thing that you're telling people not to do. You know, the amount of people who are like, oh, freedom of speech, like they should be able to have an opinion, but you can't. Like, just because they don't agree with what with what you're saying, they're like, oh, everyone should have freedom of speech, but not you, because what you're saying is wrong. Well, no, like everyone should be able to say what they want, but no one should be allowed to bully other people. It's perfectly fine to have a debate with people online and, have differing opinions. But if someone is trying to do something good, and then the very people who they try to stand up for is tearing them down, then I'm sorry, they need to realise that that's just not acceptable behaviour, really. So yeah, if you see it, say something about it, or tell me and I'll go and say something about it, because it's not right. It's not right. Thank you, Maggie. Says, have a great birthday. Yeah, next time I see you guys, I will have already turned 38. My God. It's come around quickly this year. This year has gone way, way, way too fast. But yeah, we'll see you guys who want to get involved with the chat with Guy on Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Keep an eye on your inboxes, because you'll get an email from me on Thursday afternoon and then one at about 6:30 Thursday night, so you don't miss it, with your Zoom link. If you're not a member, actsonthis.tv/live, come and get involved with the party. And those people who did the first TV role fast track training with me on Saturday, I will have all of the recordings of that 9-hour training up in the members area on your course dashboard by the end of this week, and then I'll be back in the Facebook group with you guys. I'm already still back in there now, really, to be honest, but I'll be way more active when I've got all the editing done on this. But I can't wait to see you guys smash it. The support in that group is just freaking incredible. So thank you for all being absolutely amazing people. Right, I'm gonna love you and leave you. But yeah, I'll catch up with you. I'll catch up with you very soon. What should I play to finish? What have we got here that I've not played out tonight? Absolutely nothing. I've got some old stuff here. I wonder what that is. That just says Gary and Dean. I don't know what that is. And Daniel Edwards. What do you think that is? I bet if I click this, I bet it's not even anything. Let me see what this is.
The serious things of the things that happen outside come in.
Oh, it is something. It's something quite inspiring as well. This is a little clip of casting director Daniel Edwards. He co-casts Line of Duty with Kate Rhodes-James. He's a big supporter of actsonthis.tv. He's been on actsonthis.tv for multiple podcasts and live broadcasts and webinars over the years. This is a little 2-minute clip from a chat I had with him when we were allowed to sit in the same room as each other before COVID. That, again, if you're a member of actsonthis.tv, you can get access to the full 3-hour chat this is. There's a 3-hour podcast with Daniel Edwards on the site, and this is a little clip from it. I didn't even know I still had this in the system. Enjoy this, guys. Lots of love. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys Thursday night 7:30 actsonthis.tv/live for your membership if you've not got one, and enjoy this little clip. Until next time, bye for now.
The serious things of the things that happen outside, come in and enjoy the moment. The privilege of being given a script and reading words of a character that's been beautifully written and beautifully executed, and someone has invited you in because they believe you are going to understand that character and give us something that's going to make that character come alive. What an exciting privilege. Enjoy the fucking 15 minutes. Enjoy it.
Yep.
Enjoy it. I know it's hard. I'm making it sound much more simple than it is, but enjoy those moments. Go outside into the real world and think of all the politics and the shit. Come into the casting room and enjoy that 15 minutes of showing off. You get to show the fuck off.
Who doesn't like showing off?
That's, you know, the core of performance.
Yep.
And it's those actors that come in and enjoy that are the ones who get the gig, for me.
Yep.
And they're the ones that I really champion, because I know that they are finding different ways to express their talent. So I want to be a part of that. I want you to come in and I want you to go out and me be as excited about watching the last episode of Boardwalk Empire. I've never screamed at the television so much in my life than the last episode of Boardwalk Empire, one of the most astonishing television shows. Or something of When They See Us recently that just blew my mind and just upset me deeply and triggered loads of things. And many shows. But how amazing. I get to see that with every actor that comes in. I get 15 minutes of that. I get 15 minutes of performance in front of me, live theatre in front of me. How fucking amazing. What I don't want is 15 minutes of fucking angst-ridden grief.